Everyone loves talking about the best neighborhoods to live in Bellingham and where to move to, but nobody ever talks about the places that they should avoid, and there are some areas that don't live up to the hype. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about the 4 areas that you want to avoid if you're looking at moving here to Bellingham, Washington. Hey everyone, it's Aldo here with the Levain real estate team in Bellingham, a local realtor and a native to the area. In this video, I'm gonna talk about the areas that you're gonna want to avoid, and though it might work for some people, it may just not be the right fit for you. So this video isn't about bashing the neighborhoods or talking badly about it, but I'm gonna let you know why some of these areas may not work if you're looking at relocating here. And make sure to stick around because the 4th area, I probably will get some hate in the comments because a lot of people actually love this area. But in my opinion, it is not a right fit for most people who are looking at relocating here. So enough of this intro, let's dive into the video. I'm also gonna be using Google Maps to kind of show you the locations exactly of where these neighborhoods are with a lot of B-roll footage and showing you the area specifically. So I'm gonna use both that will help you guys visualize exactly where everything is and what it looks like. All right, so let's talk about the first place that I would avoid here in Bellingham. And this specific neighborhood is right in the middle of Bellingham, and some of you in the comments might hate me for this one as well, but this one is the Sehome neighborhood. And here are some reasons why I think you should avoid it. If you're looking at moving to Bellingham and you want some more peace of quiet, you want things that are gonna be a little bit nicer, you're gonna have a yard, and you're not gonna be around very young, kind of wild college student and then filled and also be surrounded by a bunch of rentals, then the Sehome neighborhood definitely is not for you. And this is why I say this is the first spot that I recommend to avoid. So let's go into the computer. As you can see here, as you can see right now, this is all of Bellingham, and the Sehome neighborhood is right in the middle of it all, which is great. So don't get me wrong, the location is fantastic. As you can, if you zoom in, you're gonna be able to know that you can walk into downtown, that essentially it's right there. Now, a Sehome neighborhood butts up into the York district or the York neighborhood, right? You're gonna have North State Street right here, and the boardwalk's gonna be down here, which is gonna be beautiful. So location is fantastic. Now, what most people don't realize is that you're gonna have Western Washington is going to be essentially this entire campus right here, right? So you will be right next to all the college life, and you're gonna be surrounded by a bunch of rental properties. They could be apartments, multifamily, they can be older homes, 4 or 5 bedroom homes, 6, 7, 8 bedroom houses. So you will be in the thick of it. As you can tell, all of this is going to be the Sehome neighborhood, and there is a bunch of rentals. Obviously, if you kind of come a little bit more on this side of the Sehome neighborhood, you're not gonna find as much rentals, but as you kind of zoom in, like even just this one here, and you kind of go start looking through some of the application processes, what tells me that a lot of these renters are younger and that are going to Western is some of these people will require a co-signer. And if you're older and you have credit established, you're most likely not going to need one, but you will have a bigger deposit too, because when you're younger, you're probably gonna thrash up some apartments, not everybody. But yeah, if you take a look, this is all, and this is just on Zillow. So this isn't even showing all of the rentals that are available because not everybody will post the rentals on Zillow. So I'm sure there's gonna be more. Now, again, we could kind of talk about the location. The location is fantastic. So, I mean, if we're looking at this Sehome neighborhood and you're wanting to go into downtown, I mean, it's pretty much in downtown because you can take these streets and go all the way into downtown and go right here. Here's North State Street, which is great. And then you're gonna have some more, this is gonna be the farmer's market. So this is gonna be, this is gonna be Railroad Avenue, and that's something we're gonna talk about here in a second. But the downtown is so beautiful, and you're gonna be able to go and ride your bike, you're gonna be able to scooter, you're gonna be able to go do a lot more stuff, and then go into Waypoint Park as well, which is probably one of the newest additions to Bellingham. So yes, if you want to be somewhere where there's a lot of activity and you want to be close to everything, where you can walk into downtown and even into Fairhaven, then yes, Sehome neighborhood is for you. But if you're looking for quietness and if you're not looking for things to go wrong in the middle of the night or for things to just be loud, then the Sehome neighborhood is not for you. And if so, this is the one place I would avoid here in Bellingham. Now again, guys, this isn't to bash on anybody or anybody who's living here or any of the neighborhoods. These are just reasons and tailored to you. So if I mention any of those reasons and you're moving here to Bellingham and you're like, yeah, that doesn't sound for me, hey, skip it. There's other great property or other great neighborhoods. If this is like, hey, you know what, this is intriguing, this is kind of cool, I'm going Western, I'm gonna go and get my master's, whatever, I still want to be close and I don't really, the noise doesn't bother me because I'm coming maybe from Seattle or from San Francisco, then yes, Sehome is a great spot for you because it's nothing crazy like it is in Seattle, San Francisco, or some of these bigger areas. Now for the second place that you want to avoid here in Bellingham, it's gonna be in downtown. Not necessarily all of downtown, but a specific street here within downtown, and that's Railroad Avenue. It used to be a place where you can go and have breakfast and do all these fun things, family friendly, go out with your kids and enjoy it. And since COVID, as a lot of you know, things have kind of turned south to a lot of places, especially here in Washington, and homelessness has been an impact here in our area. Now, don't get me wrong, since I've been shooting this video, it's September 9th, 2025. This problem has gotten much, much better and things are being cleaned up. But it's still not what it was even back when I was 21, which was 14 years ago. We didn't really have this issue, but as we zoom in here into this area, Railroad Avenue is right in between East Chestnut and Magnolia Street. So right here in the center of it all, in these four corners, so you're gonna have East Holly Street that will come all the way down. It's a one-way street, beautiful street to kind of come and cut through all of downtown so you can kind of figure out what's there. But Railroad Avenue, you're gonna have North State Street, which is a one-way going this way, North Forest, one-way going that way. And what the great thing about this area is there is a lot to do, but these four corners right here, for some reason, it's just kind of plagued by not even the homelessness, but some drug activity, alcohol, and just people kind of being up to no good. And this right here used to be lively. And don't get me wrong, a lot of these issues that we have are mainly at night. So yes, if you're trying to go and have ice cream or lunch or whatnot, you're really not gonna notice it a lot, but you will notice it more towards the later afternoons and evening times. For some reason, obviously that's when all the trouble starts coming out. I wouldn't say it's very dangerous. I don't think you're gonna see shootings or stabbings or none of that stuff, but it's just a lot different than what Bellingham used to really be accustomed to. And you are gonna find people that will probably be high on drugs, that are drinking, that you can see that the troubleness that surrounds them will be in this area. So that's one thing why I would say just kind of avoid this area unless you kind of want to go there. Yes, you're gonna still have Mallards, you're gonna have a great pizza shop, you're gonna have burger spot, you're gonna have a lot of different other things, which is gonna be fun to go to. Me personally, I was just down there with our 3 kids, and it's just a different area, and it doesn't make you feel as comfortable as it used to, you know, even 7 years ago. So yes, if you wanna go out and be downtown during the daytime, great. At nighttime, the activity just gets a little bit weirder. Again, a lot of our crime in Bellingham is more of that petty crime, and it's more visual that you see than actually being physical. So no one's gonna, now, hardly ever someone's gonna go and rob you or hold you up at gunpoint or with a knife or with any weapon. So don't feel like this is somewhere in like downtown Houston, Seattle, somewhere in Ohio, things of that nature. Our area is still very, very safe. It's just when you're accustomed to that small city living, some of these things that are happening definitely isn't really very common and normal for us. But if you're in the downtown area, and I'm still making a video about the downtown area because there's so much to capture, but it's a great, great place. My wife and I just went on a date night for the first time in a long time because we had twins a year and a half ago, so that has been very difficult to get some time out. But we have Aslan Brewing, which is super great. Netco Cat Cafe, if you're into cats, this place is so popular, which is really, really cool. We're also gonna have a lot more things here, like in Waypoint Park and Beach Cat Brewing right here is such a cool space and a cool spot because you're gonna have views and you're gonna have really awesome things that you're gonna see across here. and you're also gonna just be able to be around everything and anything. And downtown has been super popular lately, and it has been very, very active, especially in our summer days. And then of course, just a short walk here into Fairhaven, into the boardwalk, which is going to be awesome. So there is some great things. Again, not all of downtown is going to be something that you want to avoid, but that little area there in the middle of Railroad is a place that isn't just a fun place that you want to go hang out and that I suggest to. But honestly, if you're here in town, go check it out for yourself. You're probably coming from an area that you're thinking this is way below what you guys are used to. And I get that exact same statement every single time. It's like, listen, we've gone through Bellingham, went to your downtown, your bad areas are nothing like our bad areas in Texas, in California, in Seattle, and even places on the East Coast from Ohio or Florida. So again, this is kind of coming from my experience. It's nothing that I would be too alarmed from, but it's just different when you grew up here and you're not used to that. It can be just a little bit, it can be a lot different. So check it out for yourselves. I don't think it's that bad, but to some other people, it could be really horrible. Now, for the third place that you want to avoid is essentially kind of more in the more North Bellingham, and that is the Northwest / Birchwood area. Now, this isn't the Birchwood neighborhood, but this is kind of the Birchwood area. So as you can see here in the middle of Bellingham, we have the Bellingham Golf and Country Club, which is a really great golf course. If you are into golfing, go check it out. But there is an area behind here that is just right on the corner of Maplewood and Northwest. So when we talk about crime here in Bellingham, this is probably one of the spots that you'll probably see more crime. Not necessarily shootings, stabbings of that. Again, all of our crime here in Bellingham is more on that petty side, but you will see a lot more open of crime. So you're gonna probably see a lot more thefts in this area. You're gonna definitely see a lot more, apartments. So all this here is just a lot more apartments, more affordability, but also lower income. And it's not saying that's the reason for it, but there is definitely a lot more activity in this area. And if you see here, you're gonna be in the Birchwood neighborhood, which is gonna be a great neighborhood, which is very, very popular, which is a massive neighborhood. But within that neighborhood, it's not always gonna be sunshine and rainbows. Obviously, you're gonna have the Squalicum Park right here. It does kind of leak into the Columbia neighborhood. And you're gonna be kind of on the backside of the mall, because here's the Bellis Fair Mall right here. So it's a pretty short drive going up to it right there. But yeah, this is the area where most people in this side, on the Northwest side, that you're probably gonna want to avoid. Now, driving through this area and whatnot, you're not gonna see anything, right? It's more at nighttime when you come into those apartment buildings or seeing some of the activity that's happening there. That's where I'm cautioning you to be around. Driving through this area, there's no gang activity, maybe very, very slightly, but gang activity or anything to be scared out to be walking at night isn't something like you have to be super cautious about. Again, that is my personal opinion. Somebody who is living there or goes through there that maybe has come from an area that isn't used to something like this, it may be different. People coming from Seattle in different neighborhoods that are a lot more violent probably think this is gonna be something really nice. But again, yeah, this is the Birchwood neighborhood, and it's not the entire Birchwood neighborhood, but it's the Birchwood / Maplewood sort of area. So that's one thing to kind of keep in mind of. This is gonna be the area that if you're looking at something, even some houses within this area of Birchwood might be something to be kind of cautious about. I would definitely look up some more on Google and just before you guys come here to make sure that this is gonna be a good, safe place, talk to some neighbors and whatnot. But again, minimal crime. Now, if you're still watching this video, guys, please make sure you like and subscribe on these videos. I definitely help quite a bit of people move here. I get phone calls and text messages every single month on people that are looking at moving here. So whether you're moving here this year in 2025 or 2026, reach out to us. We want to help you. We want to sit down, do a Zoom call. There's only so much I can share on these YouTube videos that can explain so much without boring people. So we always talk a lot more and thorough about different neighborhoods, the lifestyle, and whatever is happening here in Bellingham. So reach out to us. We'd love to help you out. If you're looking at buying a house here, we are your go-to realtors here in Bellingham. So now to go into the fourth place that I would avoid here in Bellingham, and I know I'm gonna get some flack for this in the comment section, but I have to say it. And that fourth place has a lot of things that are positive, but to me, the Sudden Valley neighborhood is one place that I would probably want to avoid. And it has nothing to do with crime, nothing to do with any of that, but simply because it is farther away from Bellingham. It's amazing if you want to live here in Bellingham and maybe you're a first-time home buyer or you have a lower budget. Sudden Valley is a fantastic place for you because you're gonna find some great properties in that $450,000 to maybe $600,000 range, and that is gonna be great. So if you're looking at finding affordability, Sudden Valley is it. But if your budget is higher and you're looking more in that $700,000+ range up to $1 million, Sudden Valley is just not the place that you're gonna want to be. So if I zoom in here into it, so again, here is Bellingham, and then here is Sudden Valley. So Sudden Valley is still in Bellingham. So don't get me wrong, this is still considered Bellingham. It's just not city limits. Now, Sudden Valley, it's gonna be a drive. I know if any of you guys have watched any of my last videos, I did make a video about living in Sudden Valley, and it's the most affordable neighborhood here in Bellingham. Now, the reason why I say to avoid Sudden Valley is simply because if you're moving to Bellingham, a lot of people are wanting the availability and the amenities to be very close to where, you know, if you're driving into Bellingham, Bellingham really starts about right here, right? And to drive in or to drive all the way out to Sudden Valley, you're going down Lake Whatcom Boulevard and you're going all the way down this way. So to some people, this drive might be cake or something that's gonna be customary to you, because if you're traveling already 15-20 minutes to get to your home, that is something that you may say, oh, I can do that. Now, it's not so much the drive, but this is kind of a one way in, one way out. Really, there's two ways, but it's all single level. So now that school has started, if you're in here, this is only like a 35-mile-per-hour single level. So if you're stuck behind a school bus, I mean, it's taking you 25+ minutes just to get into Bellingham. There's also the back way as well. So you can come in the back way, and this is on Lake Louise Drive. So you can come in. There's two ways that you can essentially get into Sudden Valley. So you got the Lake Whatcom Boulevard, and then you're gonna have Lake Louise Drive to get you on the back of all this. And then you can hit Sudden Valley. But another reason why people avoid the Sudden Valley is because there's no sidewalks. There's a lot of trees, it's very dark, and it's going to be pretty wet and slippery, especially in the winter times. Not so much only of that, but the HOAs, it's $161 a month, and some people just don't like HOAs, and the HOA is very strict. Even if you want to cut down a tree, it's going to take quite a bit for you to actually get your tree cut. If you want to paint your house, it's got to be a certain color. If you want to build a fence, it's got to be a certain height and color as well. So there's definitely some things in Sudden Valley why people don't want to be in there. So if you have a higher budget and you don't want to be shaded for 12 months out of the year, Sudden Valley is not going to be your area. So for you to be living out in Sudden Valley, especially if you go to a lot of Reddit threads, is that so the commute isn't the big deal, but the grocery store, there's no real grocery store here in Sudden Valley. So you're driving 20 minutes into Bellingham and 20 minutes back, and that's on a smooth drive. So if you're going to the grocery store and if you forget something, you're driving there and you're gonna drive back. So it's something that's gonna be kind of a headache, to where Bellingham, you're feeling like you're gonna be close to everything. Sudden Valley isn't gonna be like that. Now, there's some great things in Sudden Valley, right? There's gonna be a Sudden Valley golf course, which is great. You're also gonna have an AM, PM beach right here. So you're gonna have a lot of, the swim areas. It's gonna be nice. You're gonna have a boat launch. So you're gonna have its own little marina. So you can go out right here and you're gonna dock your boat right here if you want to. You're gonna have access to the lake, which is gonna be fantastic. So there's definitely a lot of outdoor things. There's a lot of trails around here, as you can see on Google Maps, that you can go walking, hiking. There's some horse trails back there, which is gonna be great. Some mountain biking trails. So you will be next to quite a bit of things in this area. It just depends. The affordability on here is really good, but also the homes don't really have backyards, and they're mainly 2 to 3 stories because it's all on hillside, and a lot of them will be essentially main living, and then you have to go up, and then you're gonna be crawling down, but it's mainly, a lot of them are on hills. The walkability is fine, but there's no sidewalks, and people are always driving back and forth, so you're always kind of having to get in and out of the way for cars that are coming that are on the street. And the average house here, I think, is about 625 or so affordability is good. So, but again, it's a little bit farther away from Bellingham. I know for the people that are living in here, this is not to hate on Sudden Valley, but this is just for realization of what these neighborhoods, well, what Sudden Valley and all these other neighborhoods are like, because I know people live here, and this is not to disrespect anybody. It's just, if you have the budget to not live here, move somewhere else. If you want affordability, Sudden Valley definitely is for you. So if you're still listening into this video, let me know what some areas that I missed that maybe you're saying that you should probably avoid. Bellingham has had other areas like Texas Street and some other areas off Alabama that were pretty bad, but things are getting a lot better. More zoning is coming in to build more homes, bringing in a lot more people and being able to fit in more people in certain areas. And really, Bellingham in all is such a safe place. I really wouldn't worry about a lot of these areas, but these are just some areas and for some reasons why I would avoid them. If you're coming and moving here, please reach out to us. We can go and I can show you more. You can drive by these areas. You can give me your opinion and see if this is something that you're telling me, although you are overreacting, or although, yeah, you know what, you're right, I don't want to be there. So crime and all that doesn't have to do with every single neighborhood. So Bellingham is a very safe neighborhood. People love it here. Our summers are great. Our falls are great. Winters suck. Springs are awesome again. But yeah, anyways, guys, my name is Aldo. Once again, here with the Levain Real Estate team with Windermere in Bellingham. If you're looking at moving, reach out to us, guys. We love helping people that are moving to the area. We love showing off our city. So all my information is down below. Call me, text me, email me, whatever you prefer, day or night, and we'll get back to you. And we'd love to make up a plan on how we can get you guys into a perfect home here. Once again, if you're still watching this video, let us know what I missed. And once again, guys, it's Aldo, and we'll see you next time.